What's up, YouTube? My name is Ariane. Thank you for clicking over to my channel. I am an options day trader. My favorite ticker symbol to trade is SPX. My favorite time frame to trade SPX is 0DTE, also known as same day expiring contracts. And as of early 2022, SPX began offering 0DTE contracts every weekday. So 5 times the 0DTE fun. In my last video, I showed you a couple of different ways you can make a quick hundo using SPX and 0DTE. I did that by using my tried and true, my go-to, my default way of making money in the stock market, which is selling out of the money vertical credit spreads. It's what I do, it's what I know, it's what I would do if I had to make $100 in the stock market. But I am a knower of other strategies, and so I thought I would do a butterfly version. I have recorded other options butterfly videos where I go into detail and how to construct them, and I go a lot slower if you're interested in learning these strategies because these are a little more advanced than, say, two-legged vertical spreads. In this first live trade, I trade an iron butterfly, and in the second live trade, I trade a broken wing butterfly. I'll let the live footage roll, and then I will do a quick recap at the end of each trade. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 4th. And this is what SPX looks like so far today on a 5-minute chart. Just a couple things to know. We've had a pretty significant gap to the upside overnight, about 50 points. And then we have continued to push higher all morning. The expected move at the open was about 35 points, and we've already moved over 60. And for that reason, I'm putting on an iron butterfly. Also coupled with the fact that it is approaching New York lunchtime, and I just think that SPX might hover here for at least a little while longer. The only downside that I see is that SPX has already been hovering here for quite some time. You can see that we've basically been here for almost 2 hours. So either this is consolidating for a big move or the big move is exhausted. So I'm going to put on an iron butterfly. I'm going to use the short strikes 37.80. I'm going to pin my short strikes there. So I'm actually going to do this on my E-Trade account, and yeah, give me a sec and then we'll set that up. All right, I am on my E-Trade account, and here is what the order looks like. It's today's expiration. My short strikes are at 37.80. and my wings are 40 points away. So I am long the 38.20 call, long the 37.40 put. And I am going to ask for this mid price. Let's see if this goes. All right, this is running a little bit away from me, so I'm gonna modify this order and just drop my, oh, never mind. It filled. So now that I have filled, I will put in a buy to close order for 1915. All right, so I have sent my order for a buy to close of 1915. That would net me $100. And basically, so long as SPX stays within 10 to 15 points of 37.80, my short strikes, the trade will be okay. So, all right, I'll check back in a minute. All right, it has been 20 minutes since I got filled on the iron butterfly entry. SPX is trading at 37.81, perfect, right on my short strike. This is what my P&L looks like. And even though the mark will go over $100 like it is now, it won't fill right away. We're trying to fill 4 legs, and so sometimes this takes 5-10 minutes, but so long as SPX hovers here, at least within 5 points, I should get filled within the next couple of minutes. I normally don't enter an iron butterfly for $100 profit target. I don't think that's a good use of the margin that's required for this trade, but $100 is usually pretty easy to achieve. I didn't mention what I would use as a stop loss. I would probably use, you have to give these things room to be wrong. On a 40 wide, I would probably use like a $250 to $350 stop loss. So I use a premium price rather than a level, but that's just how I do it. So I'll come back if and when this $100 profit target fills. This, I missed my little window notification thing, but my closing order did fill a short 30 minutes after my entry. These are Eastern Standard Times, and that was a really low stress trade. Again, I would not normally enter an iron butterfly for just a $100 profit target. I would probably hold this for a minimum $150, and in these recent weeks, I've been holding them for at least $300. But this is a nice quick trade. A $300 profit target would probably take 3 times as long as this, and it's a little bit more stressful because these things can run away from you quickly. But when I used to trade these consistently, I would put at least 3 or 4 on at one time, and then take one off at 150, one off at 200 something, another one off at 300 something, or both off at my second profit target if it had been a long time, and then I would let one run, and these used to work amazing, but in lower volatility times. Today the VIX is near 30, and to me, anytime the VIX is above 25, it's not an easy trade, but that's a pretty easy $100. All right, I'll see you guys. All right, just a quick recap. The time in that trade was 27 minutes. The buying power required was the width of the wings times 100, so 4,000 minus the credit received. And so that iron fly required $1,985 of my capital to enter. That's also the max loss, and the max gain is the credit that I took in. And again, in this environment, the only time I would really think to put that trade on is if the expected move has already been achieved and around lunchtime. The expected move is a calculation you can do manually, but I'll put a screenshot in of where I look for the expected move. It's on the thinkorswim options chain. All right, so the next trade that I do is just the next day, and it's a broken wing butterfly. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, October 5th, and this is what the S&P looks like so far today. We opened around 3750. We're trading about 40 points higher. We've had a session range of about 60 points high to low. I am going to trade a broken wing butterfly. Whenever I do trade these, I usually trade them I usually enter them within the last 90 minutes of the session. We have an hour left. So the first thing I do is ask myself, well, where do I think SPX is going to close? And then I position myself on the call side or the put side, whether I think the likelihood is that there's going to be a spike up or a spike down. So I'm going to use one of our members, Brian, is working on a prediction software, and he calls it the Magic 8 Ball. And as of a few minutes ago, or just a minute ago, he's predicting that SPX will close at 37.84. He's predicting that SPX will close at 37.84. So I'm going to center my butterfly around this target price. So I'm going to be on the call side because I just think that the tendency today might be a sell off in the last few minutes. Actually, since I'm only aiming for $100, it doesn't really, that part isn't essential. But anyways, I'm going to be short 2 85s long an 80, skip a strike, long a 95 call. Right now, you can see the mid and the ask price. So I'm actually going to set this up on my E-Trade account where I'm doing butterflies, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so the S&P has pushed up to 37.97, and since my entire spread is in the money, I can probably get $2.50, $3 for it. So I'm going to ask for $2.75 and see if I get filled, and if I do, I'll be back. All right, so I just got filled at $2.75. So again, I am buying to open the broken wing butterfly, but I am receiving a credit. And so since I'm just looking to make $100, I'm going to enter a closing order to buy it back for a $1.75 credit. So here is my filled order for $2.75 credit. Here is my open working order for a $1.75 credit. That would net me $100. And this is what my P&L looks like right now. I feel like if I just get at least a 5-point pullback in the next 20 minutes, that it should fill, and I'll be back to update you. All right, we have exactly 20 minutes left in the session. SPX is at 3797, so that means all of my call strikes are still in the money. My trade is about break even. And so I still need another, now that we're getting closer to the end, I still need like another 5 points pullback to make $100. So anything can happen in 20 minutes. I mean, I have seen some wild things happen in the last 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure that in the last 5 minutes, I think like the craziest thing I can remember is a 100-point squeeze up. Like, I remember I was on vacation watching this poolside happen. Anyways, so, you know, I try not to worry because my max loss is, like I already mentioned, 225. So worst case scenario, SPX closes above 3788, 3789, and that would be my max loss. But any kind of pullback here should get me to $100. I mean, I could also just take the trade off here for break even, but that would not be the point of my YouTube video. So I'm gonna just keep watching this for a second. There we go. There's the pullback I need, and I should get filled. Any second here, you'll see the little windows pop up. So I went with the call side today because I did think that the tendency today would, the end of day behavior would be a sell off. So here we go. Let's wait for my fill. I think possibly this E-Trade web version, like how is this not filling? It's totally possible I put my order in wrong because I'm not really that familiar, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I'm gonna try and do it from my phone. Well, all right, that was really embarrassing. I clearly don't know how to use the Power E-Trade web version. So I went on my phone to close the spread, and it ended up filling at 65-cent debit. So that means I had a net gain of the $275 credit plus the $65. So that's a net gain of $340. Okay, I don't know what to say. I messed up, but obviously in my favor. All right, since I was so embarrassed and closed that so quickly, I wanted to mention that SPX ended up closing at 3783. So go Magic 8 Ball. That was only 3 freaking points off today. But had I not closed my broken wing butterfly, I actually would have made double what my accident profit. Anyway, so I was short the 2 3785 calls, which ended up expiring worthless. That means that the only thing that would have expired in the money was my 3780 call. And for that, I would have been paid $328. So I would have kept the entirety of the credit plus $328 and made $603. So I just wanted to put that math out there so that you can see how lucrative these broken wing butterflies are. And yesterday, when I did that $100 on the iron fly, let me show you what would have happened if I didn't close that trade. So I believe I was short the 3780 strike. That was the pin, the middle of my iron butterfly. And had I not closed it at all, SPX closed at, well, the cash settled price was $37.91. And so I believe I opened that iron butterfly for 2015 credit. And had I not closed it, okay, sorry, I was having a brain fart. So SPX closed at $37.91. $37.91 minus my short strike, $37.80 is 11 points. So I received $2,015 in credit, and I would have had to pay back $1,100 for my short strike being in the money. And so I would have netted $915 had I not closed it for a mere $100. Also a lucrative strategy if you're really good at technical analysis, which I consider myself not to be. And so these are reasons why I don't really trade these things on a regular basis, because to me, those last 10, 15 minutes, they're just so unpredictable. So I just try and position myself either just to take profits really quickly or put myself in a trade where, like today, I did risk $225 to make $100. So, of course, I messed up and made $340, but I'm not complaining. So, all right, so much math. The time in that trade was 49 minutes. The buying power required was $225. There's the math. And that's also the max loss. The max gain would have been $725. Basically, the closer SPX closes to your short strike, the higher the potential gain. So that, my friends, is it. Thank you so much for watching. Also, I just crossed 10K on YouTube. Woohoo! 20-something videos later. I appreciate all of your support and your kind comments. Stay disciplined out there, and I hope that the market is treating you well. Follow me on Instagram if you'd like. I try and hop on there at least 3 times a week to update what it is that I traded that day. See y'all soon. Bye.